We are live, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series action live on KRC. I'm here to bring you all the action with the live, realistic commentary throughout the course of tonight's truck race. Yes, the actual Camping World Truck Series race at Charlotte. So originally we were going to do NASCAR Heat 5 at Iowa when I got off of work, but I figured, you know what, I got home before the start of the truck race. And I'm going to Charlotte this weekend for the Coke 600. I'm leaving literally tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., so hopefully this race does not take too long because I will be literally leaving my house in less than 10 hours from right now. But yes, I will be there live. I'll be vlogging the full trip. Plan on going to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, a couple of the race shops as well, give you guys a tour inside of that. It'll be a lot of fun, and there's another video also planned of somewhere interesting that I'm going on my trip to Charlotte area or North Carolina area. Should be a lot of fun this weekend. I can't wait. Welcome everybody into the chat here. We got Zachary Suggs, Kyle Larson fan, Emmett Stewart, Dark Crypto, and Cap24. Welcome to the stream. Have it on the TV. Yeah, the race is on Fox Sports 1 here tonight. For those of you that wanted to watch it live. For those of you that can't watch it live, that's why we do these live realistic broadcasts from time to time. Again, not going to do the Xfinity or the Cup race this weekend. I will be at the Cup race, and I will be driving during the Xfinity race. I'll be listening to the Xfinity race on the way there tomorrow, but I will not be able to physically watch it. I'll be on the highway. I might catch the end of it by the time I get to the hotel. It depends what time it ends, I guess. But yeah, I will be there, and NASCAR Fantasy Podcast will be on either tomorrow night or it will end up being on Sunday morning. I'll give my race picks for the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 this weekend. Nick Schiffman, welcome to the stream. Race has not started yet. They have fired the engines and they are rolling off of pit road. Most of them are on the racetrack right now. They're on their pace laps currently. Starting lineup for tonight's race looks like this. We got Ty Gillen, the reigning winner this season at COTA last week, will be on the pole. Sheldon Creed will start second. Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek will end up starting in row 2. Ben Rhodes Smith in row number 3. Tyler Ankrum and Grant Enfinger in row 4. Carson Hocevar and Matt Crafton will be in row 5. Stuart Friesen, Haley Deegan in row 6. Austin Wayne Self, Johnny Sauter in row 7. Derek Kraus, Ryan Truex in row 8. Drew Dollar making one of his rare starts this season. Timmy Hill will be outside of him in row number 9. Row 10 will be Bailey Curry and Jack Wood. I don't know why I struggle with his name so much. Chris Wright and Christian Eckes will be starting a little bit further back in the field, just outside the top 20 in row 11. Row 12, Chandler Smith and Tate Fogelman. Tanner Gray and Chase Purdy will be in row 13. Row 14, Corey Roper and Brett Holmes, another one of those ARCA regulars, will be in the field here in this one. Timothy Peters and CJ McLaughlin will be back in row 15. Row 16, Ty Majeski and Danny Bone. Row 17 will be Keith McGee driving the Jordan Anderson number 3 owned race truck. And, Akinori Ogata, I'm pretty sure I said that right, back in row number 17. Row 18, Spencer Boyd, Dawson Cram, Jennifer Jo Cobb, and Trey Hutchins the third will round out the field in row 19 here tonight. Ethan, welcome on into the stream. Got to get some good Blaney merch for Instagram and future live streams. Yeah, I'm going to be wearing my long sleeve Ryan Blaney shirt, so if you guys see me there in person on Sunday, again, I'm not going to be there for the Xfinity race. I'm only going to be there on Sunday for the Coke 600. Maybe you'll run into me at the NASCAR Hall of Fame at some point. Not sure exactly what day I'm going down. I don't think I can get there early enough to go tomorrow. I can get there before it closes, but I know I'm going to be in there for hours, so I'll probably end up going as soon as they open up on Sunday morning, and then just go from there straight to the racetrack, honestly. I do have a good chance to get to the race shops tomorrow, assuming they're open till 5. I should get to the Penske shop at least. Maybe I'll hit one of them on the way out on Monday morning, too. Kyle Busch is better than Ryan Blaney. Well, yeah, he is better than Ryan Blaney. I mean, that's not even a debate right there. Is Corey Roper related to Tony Roper? I have no clue. I honestly don't know. It's an interesting question. Interesting question. You know how much these families are related in the sport of NASCAR? Arrived in Indy for the Indianapolis 500 Sunday, 1 hour ago, visiting the museum Saturday. Yeah, highly recommend going to the museum. I went there in 2018 for the Brickyard 400. They got rained out on Sunday. Spent about a couple hours in that museum. Awesome. Not much NASCAR stuff in there. It's all IndyCar, but it's just awesome. It's really a trip down memory lane. Highly worth going. I think it's only like $10 for admission. At least when we were there, it might be more expensive for the Indy 500 weekend. I don't know, but I haven't been to the Indy 500 yet. One of these years. Maybe next year. But I'll be at Charlotte for the Coke 600 this weekend. I was supposed to be at Charlotte last year for the Coke 600. My tickets got renewed because of COVID and everything, so that's why I'm going this year instead. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy yourself, Tyler. Looks like the lights are out on the pace truck, and they're just now going through the starting lineup for some reason. I don't know why they waited till right before they go green to do it. Kind of rough. Even the leaderboard on the bottom is flipping through so quick so they could get through the entire starting lineup before they get back to green. I mean, they only got a half a lap, and then they're going green here. Remember, there was practice and qualifying for all three series coming into this week. One practice and the normal qualifying session. Let me pull the chat up on my phone because I can't see it on my laptop. It's where I'm watching the race. I'm hearing myself, too, in the background. I was wondering what... It sounded like I heard like a third voice in the booth or something. But it was like kind of faint. I thought that was an error on Fox for a second, but I guess it wasn't. There we go. I got the chat up now. Well, yeah, very quickly as they round out the starting lineup, the green flag is in the air. Ty Gilliland will lead the field to the green. We'll see if he can go back-to-back here tonight. Sheldon Creed on the outside trying to get a run. He's got a push from the Ford truck of John Hunter Nemechek right behind him. 2x2 through the field as they now roll down the back straightaway here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, man, huge blocking down the back straightaway. Somebody about got turned. That was Carson Hocevar in the 42 truck who was squirrely all over the racetrack. Hangs on to it, though. Might not have been a clean block, but it was a block nevertheless. Sheldon Creed going to lead lap 1 as Gillen fell back to third at the end of the opening lap with Austin Hill up to second place. Nemechek trying to follow Hill on that inside line. Hill get to third, and the pole sitter is now back to fourth in less than a lap and a half. A lot of aggressive drivers there in the middle of the pack. Aggressive side drafting, aggressive blocking, especially down the back straightaway. And they're still 2x2 in the back half of the top 10. Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, side-by-side for fifth. Behind them, Ankrum, Hocevar, side-by-side as well. Saw a couple spins in practice as well. Surprised how much these guys are racing aggressively, knowing that that's the case. Another big block down the backstretch by Hocevar. Right in front of Stuart Friesen as Friesen gets to the inside. Hocevar's been throwing some mean blocks down the back straightaway. He's going to get turned one of these times. Might make a rookie mistake here before long. Gilliland fights his way back by Nemechek for third place. Might have had a little too low of air pressures in the race car, perhaps, for the start of the race. Only 30 laps in Stage 1 here tonight. It'll be 30 laps Stage 1, 30 laps Stage 2. With the final stage sitting with 74 laps in tonight's race. They will not have to pit at all in the first stage, nor the second stage. They'll probably pit at the stage break, Stage 1. No competition yellow tonight as well because of the fact that this field for all three series had practice and qualifying. That'll be nice in person not having that competition yellow, by the way. That stunk at Dover a couple weeks ago when I was there. There was about to be a huge battle for the lead there. It looked like in heavy lap traffic, and then the competition yellow came out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hocevar about got turned by Derek Kraus on the 19. He got hit after trying to throw a block. A little bit of damage on the left rear corner panel of Hocevar's 42 truck, as you can kind of see the fender pulled out slightly due to the damage. Keegan for the Fox Sports booth. Hey, maybe one day. If Fox is still, working with NASCAR, we don't know that far into the future. It's going to be a while, I would assume. Not going to be tomorrow. Great crossover move. Battling side by side again is Stuart Friesen and Ben Rhodes. Rhodes made the pass in turns 3 and 4, but off the exit of 4, it was Friesen able to get right back to the inside as the 52 truck slid a little bit wide. Matt Crafton sitting right behind both of them looking for position. A lot of passing in the early going of the race. Looked like Timothy Peters had to come down on the pit road a couple laps in. Not sure exactly what happened. Missed it on the actual broadcast as well. Another aggressive move into turns 3 and 4, this time by the 52 of Friesen. Slides up the racetrack, loses a spot to Matt Crafton. Derek Kraus to the inside, battling him for 9th place as they're side by side down the front stretch. Hailie Deegan looking to crack the top 10 right behind both of those guys. Lap 8, Fox is going to go to a commercial break. It looked like 34 truck. CJ McLaughlin got into the wall a little bit ago. Not sure exactly how that started. At least IndyCar doesn't have those comp yellows at all. Well, if they don't have practice or qualifying, I think they like if practice and qualifying gets rained out, then yeah, they would have competition yellows. I know they have competition cautions. I've seen IndyCar races with them before. I remember the Indy 500. What year was it they had competition yellow because like a lot of their this was a while ago. This was when I was a kid. But I can vividly remember they didn't have as much like practice or qualifying going into it as they usually did because they like constantly got rain throughout the month of May. Now, not the whole thing got washed out, but a lot of it did, so they gave them a competition yellow. Let's go to the Indy Road Course doubleheader for IndyCar NASCAR. I am going there for that. I haven't bought my tickets yet, but I will be at that event. That'll be my first IndyCar race. And it'll be my second time to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I just mentioned a little bit ago. I was there in 2018 for the Brickyard 400, and I watched the Xfinity race that day too. I didn't originally go for the Xfinity in the Cup race. I only went that Sunday for the Cup race, but both races got rained out Saturday and Sunday, so they ran a doubleheader on Monday. They ran the Xfinity race at like 10 in the morning, and then the Cup race at 2 because there's no lights on Indy, so they had to get them both in, starting the other one early. So I can vividly remember waking up at like 7 or 8 o'clock, heading straight to the racetrack with a buddy of mine, and we spent the whole day at the track again. I'll have to look to see when IndyCar goes to Mid-Ohio as well. I'll probably end up going to that one as long as it's not on a weekend that I'm already at another NASCAR race. I'll look at that right now, actually, while we're under a commercial break right now if you're wondering why there's no live commentary. That's one thing I've noticed. Like, people complain about the ads during the NASCAR races, and rightfully so. To a certain extent, but the Cup race isn't that bad. They show a lot more side-by-side coverage. The truck in the Xfinity races this season, my goodness, it's like they go 8 laps of racing like we did. We saw 8 green flag laps, and then they cut to commercial. I mean, they literally like cut back from commercial when they were on the 1-to-go lap right before they went green. They never do that with a Cup race. Usually you see like every pace lap, they go through the starting lineup, they go through the race break, they go through the driver reports. Already halfway through the opening stage now. Coming to lap 15 this time. Hosts of Hart Friesen still battling back and forth with one another. Hailie Deegan has cracked the top 10 during the commercial break up to 10th place, right behind Ben Rhodes in the 99. Trying to get that first career top 10. I was looking at the point standings a little bit ago before we ended up going live before the start of this race. She's sitting 15th in the point standings, and she is 72 points below the cutoff line on Carson Hocevar right now. So stage points would go a long way there, and there are only 5 races before the playoffs for the Truck Series after the checkered flag flies tonight at Charlotte. I've seen so much blocking down the back straightaway already, and it's only 15 laps in. Crafton trying to block Derek Kraus and keep him from getting around him for 7th. That one truck looks really fast tonight. I mean, she's just chipping away at Ben Rose. And I'm sure the practice and qualifying for this race really, really put into it. Sheldon Creed still has the lead. He's pulled out about 2.5 seconds ahead of Austin Hill right now. Gillen still in third after getting back around Nemechek. And Zane Smith rounds out the top 5. Tyler Ankrum, who had a very rough start to the season, 6th early going tonight. But these short stages in the Truck Series, qualifying matters so much when they do have it. The very few races they do. And these guys that qualified up towards the front try to take advantage of it here tonight. Drivers outside the cutoff line like Deegan and Ankrum. Inside the top 10 early, Derek Kraus as well. Gillen has closed that gap on Austin Hill. He's just a couple truck lengths behind. Heavy lap traffic now just inside the back half of the top 10. About the 7th through 10th place positions. Kraus back to Deegan. A loud host of articles right back in on that one truck once again. Battling for that final stage point with just 13 laps to go in the opening stage already. Still no cautions for incident. Again, no competition yellow because there was practice and qualifying into this race this weekend. Oh man, Johnny Sauter just about turned the 40 truck of Ryan Truex. There was a little contact down the back straightaway. More blocking. You will not see this much blocking in an Xfinity or a Cup race. I don't know what it is, but I feel like everybody feels like they're Superman in the Truck Series. That's why you see so many wrecks in the Truck Series, because they just drive in over their heads nonstop. The only guys that seem to be like level-headed is those guys that have been there for a super long time, like Johnny Sauter and Matt Crafton. I don't know how they keep their sanity. Especially considering one of their teammates is Ben Rose, and he's like the worst at that stuff. I agree with you 100% there on that one, Tyler. That 66 truck of Ty Majeski, with the way the number fine is that a Thor Motorsport truck? I really don't know. Oh, okay, yep. They just stated it. Vince Walsh just made the announcement that it was a 5th truck for Thor Motorsport. It's weird that in the truck and the Xfinity Series you can field more than 4 cars, but the Cup Series you can't. I think it has something to do with the charter system, though, too. Because there's no charter system for the truck or the Xfinity, it's just the Cup. It's probably a large part of it. Yeah, indeed, also, Tyler. 9 laps to go, stage 1. Fox is going to cut to another commercial break here. Sheldon Creed has about a 3.5 second lead already. Just over 20 laps in. So they had a commercial from lap 8 to 14. 9 laps to go in stage 1. And we take another commercial. What race was I watching recently that they did that? I think it was Coda. They had like 5 or 6 laps to go in the stage. They took a commercial and they came back. There was like 3 laps to go in the stage. I was like, what? I'm pretty sure it was the truck race. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Cup Series isn't as bad with the advertisements. I think a large part of it's a longer race, so it's, you're gonna, I honestly, it's just the truck and the Xfinity races are so short. They're 200 to 300 miles. And if you have like the same amount of advertisements as you win the Cup race, obviously it's gonna feel like there's a lot more, which is the same amount, but considering it's a shorter race, you're not watching as much action percentage-wise is what you would see in the Cup Series. And like I said, the Cup Series does a lot more side-by-side, especially in the final stage. They do a lot of side-by-side. I think you're lucky to see that once or twice out of an entire Xfinity or a truck race. By the way, this is the third time we have done commentary for an actual truck race this season. We did the Daytona Road Course way back, the second race of the year, and we also did the dirt race at Bristol for the Truck Series as well. That's where we saw our most viewed live stream to date, 64 people watching throughout the course of that one. Almost broke it last week with the Cup race at COTA. We had 51 watching through that rain race. Exactly. That's why it's better to be at the race. You don't miss a single bit of the action. Indeed. What if I just started like playing ads of my own during the actual advertisements? I mean, if I ever have like some sort of sponsorship revenue, I guess that's what I mean. They come back from commercial and Sheldon Creed's literally coming to the line with 3 laps to go on the stage. They did this at COTA too. What? Well, they are back for commercial again. 3 laps to go, stage 1. Sheldon Creed leads. It looks like that lead has vanished a little bit. It's still 2 seconds ahead of Gillen, who was able to get around Austin Hill during the commercial break as well. Lap traffic is definitely getting in Creed's way here in these closing laps. Now the lead is down to about 1.75 as Creed rounds his way through turns 3 and 4. I'm having some buffering issues now. There he goes. Well, Michael Waltrip just said Charlotte's like a checkpoint Charlie. Josh Booth, welcome to the stream. Where can I watch this? Race is on Fox Sports 1 tonight. If you do not have Fox Sports 1, and this is your only way to watch it, by all means, give me the live commentary throughout. Big enough gap, though, back to Gillen right now as Creed is just coming off of turn 4. It'll be the final lap of stage 1 this time by. Creed has led every lap of the race so far, pretty easily as well. Really nobody challenging him here early, and this was after he started second. Didn't even start on the pole today. Pole sitter Gilliland, though, got right back up to second after falling back to fourth on the initial start about a lap and a half in. Just over a 1.5 second lead off turn 4. Sheldon Creed is going to win stage number 1 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, adding another playoff point to his 2021 season total. Ty Gillen second, followed by Austin Hill. John Hunter Nemechek just swept by at the last second to get third. Austin Hill fourth. Zane Smith fifth. Tyler Ankrum sixth. We got Derek Krause seventh. Matt Crafton eighth. Stuart Friesen ninth, and Haley Deegan will round out the top 10 in stage 1. They were gone for 6 laps. Why? Well, I mean, gone for 6 laps during a commercial break, that's normal. It's just the fact that they did it that late in the stage. There was 9 laps left. Literally, Charlotte, that's 3.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes. Like, you couldn't just... Man. Now they got an ad during the stage break. I mean, isn't that the reason why we have stage breaks to begin with? Like, we have stage breaks so we can, run ads during non-green flag action. But what do? We went to a commercial break with 9 laps left on the stage, and we came back with 3. We are on the air for about 1.5 minutes for those final 3 laps, and we cut right back to break at the end of the stage. Literally 90 seconds later. Like, what? Why? I mean, that's the whole reason we have cautions for stages. It's not a NASCAR problem, it's a Fox problem. Just want to make that clear. A lot of hardworking people behind Fox, by the way. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus specifically here, but the ads need to be cut down big time for the Xfinity and the Truck Series. Cup Series, it's honestly all right. It's not too bad, especially if they go side by side. I mean, that's all they could do here, but they didn't even go side by side in the final 5 laps of the stage going with a commercial. It's just hard to, like, you know, get into the race when you're just cutting a break every... Again, lap 8 to 14, they had a commercial. And then lap 21 to 28, they would have had a commercial. So they literally had a commercial, if I do my math correctly, for half the stage. 30 laps at stage 1. 8 to 14, that's 6. And then 6. Okay, so I was 1 off. No, wait. What? My math was terrible there. Hang on. So they had a commercial break for 12 of the 30 laps in stage 1, essentially. And I guarantee they're going to cut the commercial break after they have pit stops here, too. I mean, that's a given. They would do that anyway. I don't blame them for doing that, but it's like if you're going to do that, what was the point of airing the same ads you just aired 30 seconds ago? That's the crazy thing is, too, it's not even like it's a different ad every time. It's like the same ads over and over again. It's like, why do we... My goodness. Sheldon Creed's going to lead the entire field onto pit road. We're going to have some pit stops during the stage 1 break. We'll see who will have the fastest of them and win this race off of pit road. Looks like a lot of these crews are going to be taking 4 tire stops. 30 green flag laps there. Again, no cautions for incident through the opening stage. Already 100 laps to go in this 200-mile, 134-lap race at Charlotte. Inside Uranus, welcome to the stream. I don't like the production. All the NASCAR racing is interrupting my viewing of commercials. There we go. Race off of pit road won by Todd Gilliland. John Hunter Nemechek up a spot. Sheldon Creed down 2 to 3rd. Biggest mover in the top 10 was Ben Rhodes gaining 3. Ankrum also lost 2 spots. Number 1 pit box for Todd Gilliland wins him the race off pit road. Again, Sheldon Creed, the stage 1 winner, loses 2 spots there. We'll see what he can do from row 2 on the restart. Assuming he's row 2. I guess we have the choose cone rule, but we're not going to be able to actually see the choose cone be put into play because Fox is probably going to come back from commercial right as we're going green. I'm calling it right now. They're going to be going through turns 3 and 4. If not coming off of turn 4, pace truck pulling onto pit road by the time they come back to green. I guarantee that's what's going to happen. That's my bold prediction of the of stage 2 entirely. I'll give them credit. At least they're playing a different ad right now. I haven't seen this Taco Bell commercial. I don't think I've seen this one ever. Stage 2 will have 2 commercial breaks easily, yeah. Well, the problem is like it's not even going to be 30 laps of green flag racing because they were already at lap 34 when they were on pit road. So ideally, by the time they go green, they're probably only going to have 24 laps left in stage 2. So in 24 laps, if they air 2 commercials again, that'll literally be half the stage this time. I'm going to keep tally the rest of the night. They've had commercial breaks for a grand total of 12 green flag laps so far. 12 out of 30 ran. Haven't seen the Hamlin's PJs commercial in so long. Yeah, maybe Domino's decided to stop paying for that same advertisement. They were like, okay, I think people are getting it now. They've seen this commercial a million times. Time to change it up. The Domino's corporate. What's your favorite NASCAR-related commercial you've ever seen? I think an underrated one that nobody ever talks about. Now, this is my favorite because when I was younger and growing up as a NASCAR fan, Greg Biffle was always my favorite driver. But there was a Subway ad with Greg Biffle and Jack Roush where Biffle was basically playing with his sub like it was like a die-cast race car, and he was a little kid, and he was like banging the two like 6-inch subs together like they were making contact. Essentially, he was making a mess, and the food ended up getting all over Jack Roush, who was sitting across from him, and he had like the most disgusting look on his face looking at Biffle. If you can find it on like YouTube or the internet, I highly recommend it. It's still, I think, one of the best commercials NASCAR-wise. It made little to no sense at all, but it was a Greg Biffle Subway commercial. Favorite is the Allstate commercials with Casey Kane. Those were pretty good, too. Those were very underrated. I don't hear anybody talking about those anymore, either. Well, I was wrong on my prediction. The lights are still out on the pace truck right now, so it looks like they cut back from commercial a little too early. Well, they're interviewing Gilliland. That's probably why. Ty Majeski's already driven up to 16th, by the way. He started outside the top 30, I believe. He's on the move. Remember, that is a 5th Thor Motorsport truck. Favorite NASCAR commercials, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Mobile One. Yeah, that's a little too recent. That's the only reason I... But that is a pretty good commercial. First couple watches, I was laughing pretty hard at that one. Lights are out on the pace truck now. I guess we did get to see the choose cone rule put into play. Todd Gilliland will elect to restart on the outside. That's where Sheldon Creed restarted. Or I should say started on the initial start. Remember, Gilliland had chose the bottom initially at the start of the race. And the bottom actually cycled Gilliland back to 4th. So he's going to try the outside this time to see if that's going to work out. And if that doesn't work, I think you got to start looking at just maybe trying to get through the gears a little bit quicker. He's going to have to change something up with the way he's restarting, the way he is getting through the gears. Nice Deegan gained a spot off pit road. Yes, she is up to 9th right now. I'm not sure what lane she's restarting in. She just needs a top 10 tonight. I mean, she hasn't had one all year. If she just gets a top 10, awesome. And honestly, the races that they have had practice and qualifying for, the very few this year, those seem to be Deegan's best races. Except for Dirt Bristol. I don't know what went on with her there that she was outside the top 15 most of the day. I felt like she was going to have an easy top 10 in that one. Plus with the practice and qualifying. That one shocked me. But outside of that race, yeah, like last week at Coda, 14th in the rain, solid. For a rookie, at least, again. And the fact that she's only had, up to that point, 10 career starts. Lights are back out on the pace truck again. Not sure exactly why the lights keep coming back out on the pace truck. Lights are off. They'll try going green this time by. They're only going to have 20, if I do my math right, 22 laps left in stage 2 when they go green. They haven't even ran any green flag laps yet in this stage. So Carson Hocevar's lost a lot of track position. He was 11th at the end of stage number 1. He dropped back a few spots at the start. He started inside the top 10 tonight. He pitted, I guess, 3 times during the stage break, according to one of the pit road reporters in this truck race. for fuel and tires on the initial stop with everybody else. Then they kept bringing that truck back down to pit road a couple more times. They tried to raise the truck because he said he was bottoming out way too much. So we'll get to see what the rookie Hocevar can do coming from the back. Remember, this is huge too because he is the last driver in on points right now for the playoffs in the Truck Series. And now he's back to 27th on the restart in traffic. Not where you want to be, especially in the Truck Series where seem to get some chaotic, not only restarts, but just racing all throughout, it seems like. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Leave a like if you haven't already there, Inside Uranus, and thanks for tuning in. Stage 2, finally under green. Nemechek getting a massive push on the inside from Sheldon Creed. Somebody just clipped the AstroTurf about 5 or 6 rows back. Couldn't tell who it was. And look at Ben Rhodes on the outside who timed the restart perfectly, going 3 wide, passing about 4 or 5 cars. My goodness, it's like he was sitting back waiting for it or something. Gillen slides way up the racetrack again, and for the second straight time, Gillen restarts first and falls back to at least 4th. And now there's a couple trucks in the wall. Johnny Sauter gets stuffed into the wall by Christian Eckes right around 10th place. Now the 3 wide with more contact in the center of the quad oval. They somehow didn't wreck. I mean, not Eckes. Eckes is not in the 18. I meant Chandler Smith. He's the NASCAR Heat 5. And yeah, there's a tire rub on that left front of Johnny Sauter, and that tire's down. Johnny Sauter has blown a left front, and he can't make his way to pit road with everybody running so slowly, and we stay green. Now he dives onto pit road. Tough break for Johnny Sauter. It was tough to tell on the live action feed whether Smith just pulled up in front of him or he just got forced up there. I think the 18 truck got into the back of the 13 of Sauter on the initial restart through 1 and 2. Like Sauter didn't take off well. And then off turn 4, Chandler Smith just pulled up right in front of the 13. I mean, he must have thought he was clear. Maybe the spotter called him clear, and one way or another, he wasn't clear. Both trucks make contact. Sauter gets the worst end of it with that tire rub on the left front. Rhodes got in the back of Austin Hill, meanwhile, on the front stretch a little bit later, and John Hunter Nemechek was the driver who got the best of everything there, getting to the lead on that restart. Sheldon Creed is just less than a second behind him. Creed dominated and pulled away in stage 1, but now it's Nemechek with the track position, the clean air. We'll see what he can do with it. Yeah, there is some damage on that right rear corner panel, by the way, on the 18 of Chandler Smith. No tire rub, it seems like, though. Sauter had to come to pit road immediately. 18, not so much. Smith did fall back to 18th, though. He was 13th on the restart. I don't think he's going to have a tire rub. I feel like if Smith would have had a tire rub, you'd already have seen it smoke. I mean, that was 3 or 4 laps ago already. And there's no sign of any sort of smoke rolling out of the right rear of that race truck. Nemechek slowly pulling away, about a 10th or 2 a lap now on Creed, halfway through stage 2. Hocefar's already climbed himself inside the top 20 on the restart. 3 wide on the outside of the 18 of Smith. 23 truck as well in there. The aerodynamics are hurting that 18 more than what there would be if there was a tire rub, because again, I don't see a tire rub on the 18 truck, but as the box cameras continue to follow him, he is dropping back like a rock right now, well outside the top 20 already, and likely close to about outside the top 25. I guess he's just trying to hold on to the end of the stage and hope he stays in the lead lap instead of losing a lap or two, trying to repair the damage under green. Sheldon Creed is slowly starting to reel in John Hunter Nemechek again after Nemechek was slowly pulling away. I think we saw Creed take off as a dominant race truck in Stage 1 simply because of the long run speed. Well, there's the first commercial of Stage 2. By the time they come back, I don't think they're going to take another one because there's already only 14 laps left on the stage. Assuming they're gone for 6 laps again, they'll have 8 laps left when they come back. I'd be shocked if they took another one. Not sure why there were so many caution laps during that stage break. They never had to clean up any damage or anything. It was very odd. Drew Dollar, have yourself a race ARCA driver, top 20. I mean, he's in Kyle Busch Motorsports equipment, so, 20th isn't the greatest of runs. I believe this is the final race on the main Fox network this year on Sunday as well for the Coke 600. Seven people currently watching the stream. Midway through Stage 2, almost late Stage 2 right now for the Camping World Truck Series at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already on the road to 1,000 subs. Do full race NASCAR video game live streams as well as other related NASCAR content on the channel. Going to be vlogging my race weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hopefully you have a lot of fun enjoying the race on TV as well as the Indy 500 Sunday afternoon. And it looks like we have a caution. Lap 51, huge damage to the 32 truck of Brett Holmes. Holmes just looked like he bottomed out, drove it in too deep into 3 and 4, and clipped the apron. The 15 truck goes around as well. It was a hard hit into the outside wall in 3 and 4 for Holmes. Everybody missed the spinning 15 truck, and it was a great save as well. Tanner Gray in the 15, by the way. Last 3 will be on FS1. Actually, I think they only have 2 races on FS1. Sonoma, and then the All-Star race, and then they go to, when they go to Nashville, that's going to be the first race on NBC. NBCSN is the Nashville race. Strange that NBC's first race of the year is going to be on cable and not network television. Especially at a new racetrack like Nashville. For the Cup Series, at least. Split decisions here. A lot of the drivers inside the top 10 are going to stay out of the pits, try to get that track position gain, or sorry, try to keep the track position so they could get stage points, and a lot of drivers outside the top 10 are on pit road right now, making adjustments, taking 4 fresh tires. Interesting to see here. I would assume those guys might stay out of the pits when we start this final stage. That's going to make things very, very interesting if that's the case. A lot of courting going on in that 15 truck of Gray when we saw him slide. Both the right side tires are just chewed up. right. Fox on another commercial break. Shouldn't be too much debris to pick up from the single car accident. 32 of Brett Holmes just overdrove turns 3 and 4. Clipped the apron, overcorrected it hard into the outside wall with the right front, slapping the right rear into it as well. Looks like Holmes is going to be done for the day. That's the first caution for an accident in this truck race. Again, late in stage 2. By the time we go green, we're only going to have a couple laps to go. Restarts have been wild so far between the start of the stage, the initial start, and I'm sure this one's going to be very wild, knowing that we will only have a couple laps to go at stage 2. Everybody fighting for all those stage points here inside the top 10. NBC's first main race isn't until Road America. Needs to work it out better. Yeah, I don't... It's just strange. Yeah, if you figure that this weekend is going to be the last race on the main Fox network, there isn't going to be another race on network television until the 4th of July at Road America. I think the Xfinity race that day is also on the main NBC too, that day before. But still, I mean, that's literally over a month. A little over a month between one race on a main network television and then another one. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. Keegan, I got a wheel for NASCAR Heat 5 for my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Trevor, and congratulations. That birthday gift. Hopefully you put it to use and enjoy it. Well, at least this race pace is going by pretty quick. We've only had one caution for incident. That's all I could ask for. We're not in the final stage yet, and I might have spoke too soon, but we'll see. So again, John Hunter Nemechek is the race leader. Sheldon Creed won stage 1. Those two are running 1-2 right now. Zane Smith is in P3, followed by Gillen and Austin Hill, the top 5. Gillen needs to get better on these restarts, I'll tell you that much right now. So there's the points as they run. Johnny Sauter would currently be the last driver in by 3 points over Austin Wayne Self as they run right now. Anchor minus 20. Smith down to minus 29 after that damage. He was inside the top 10, not anymore. And Haley Deegan's minus 42. Hard to control. It'll take some practice and getting used to, but you'll get the hang of it eventually. Yeah, Heat 4 is a better game. I don't blame you on that one. Pace truck now pulls onto pit road. We're about to go green here. 6 laps to go in stage 2. Nemechek elects the inside. Creed on the outside. Remember, Creed took the lead on the initial start of the race. From the outside, massive push from behind from Gilliland. About turns the 2 truck of Creed as they lose heavy spots in that outside groove. And the inside is going to be the line that takes off now through turns 3 and 4. 3 wide further back between Creed, Gilliland, and Rhodes. Heavy side drafting between Gilliland and Creed on the top and middle lanes. Nemechek holds on to the lead on Zane Smith. Contact in the middle of 3 and 4. Gilliland slides into Creed. And around they go into the outside wall. Down the racetrack. Everybody scatters by except for the 23 of Chase Purdy, who gets clobbered by the 2 truck of Creed coming down the racetrack onto the apron. Caution will wave again. And that is going to be our second caution for incident tonight. Heavy damage on the 23 and the 2 of Creed. The favorite after winning stage 1 gets cleaned out by the 38 of Gilliland with contact in the middle of 3 and 4. They were very aggressive from the drop of the green flag on that restart. And they got into each other again. They're both sliding up towards the outside wall. And as they were coming down the banking, everybody was missing them to the inside. nowhere for Purdy to go. He was all the way on the apron trying to miss it, and Creed just kept following him down the racetrack. And this will likely be the end of stage 2. I mean, they might get back to green before the end of the stage. They're going to have to clean this mess up quick, and if they do, there's probably only going to be about 1 lap left. They just, I don't know. It seemed like Gillen had a little bit of room on the bottom. Again, they were 3 wide, and at Charlotte, which is one of the more narrow 1.5 racetracks on the schedule, couldn't have been easy. Looked like the 24 truck also got into the outside wall trying to miss everything, and it was tough to tell if the 51 of Drew Dollar might have gotten into the outside wall behind him as well, because he was closing up pretty quickly. I love X-Men. Welcome to the stream. What's up, my guy? Heavy damage. Water pressure is hot, and Creed is climbing out of the race truck. His night is over. He had a strong race truck. He restarted second, won stage 1. And maybe the best truck in the field is now done for the day, and we're not even into the final stage. What a tough break for Sheldon Creed. You got to feel for him. None of his fault. That 38 just raced him really hard. If they give him an interview, I'll unplug the mic and we'll get to listen to it as we usually try to do with the driver interviews. John Hunter Nemechek coming to pit road, sacrificing a playoff point perhaps. It looks like they're going to restart before the end of the stage, and I think that's why these guys are pitting right now. Zane Smith stays on the racetrack, it looks like. So this is the pit strategy, and they had to pit now because pit road is technically closed with 2 to go in the stage, and I think it's like that under caution too. So a lot of the drivers inside the top 10 coming into the pits. Some problems with Haley Deegan's racetrack. It looked like she couldn't fire off the pit lane. She had to get a little bit of a push from her crew members, and that probably loses her a couple spots. She was right around 9th earlier. The risk with doing this, though, yes, you're 2 risks. 1, you're sacrificing stage points to hopefully get a better restart, and they should get a better restart for the start of the final stage. The problem is they're back in traffic, which means you're at risk of being involved in an accident like we just saw right there in the middle of the pack, and there's a less likely chance that you can avoid it if you're in the middle of the pack versus if you're at the front. Creed hit the wall harder than you at Mid-Ohio. Creed didn't hit the wall too hard. He just got cleaned out by the 23 truck on the inside. He got into the outside wall before sliding down the track, but he didn't hit the wall too hard. I think he would have been all right if he didn't get hit by the 23. Nobody was at fault in that end part of the accident. If anybody's at fault for the start of it, it looked like Ty Gillen just overran the corner in the middle of 3 and 4. Not sure how much damage is on the 38 of Gillen's race truck. He was the pole sitter, finished second in stage 1. And again, the top 2 finishers in stage 1 have damage. Creed kept it off the wall about as good as he could. Gillen got by with not much damage. I'm sure he came to pit road there to repair some damage. Clipped him all sideways, yeah. Yeah, Creed did as good of a job as he could. It looked like he somehow had that thing saved. Barely kissed the wall on the outside. And then saved it all the way down the racetrack and then just cleaned out. I mean, he did about as good of driving as he could have. And again, he wasn't even the one that started the accident. He was just in the middle of... Yes, I'm leaving tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Well, I'm setting my alarm for 6, and then I'll be out the door within like 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to finish packing my luggage as soon as this race gets over. They're going to have a one-lap shootout to decide the Stage 2 winner. It'll be Zane Smith and Austin Hill on the front row, with Smith on the inside lane. It'll be Kraus and Majeski row 2, followed by Crafton and Ryan Truex in row 3. Hocevar's back inside the top 10 to 7th. Remember, he was on the cut line coming in. Green flag is in the air. Zane Smith gets a huge launch on the inside. Quickly tries to pull up, clear the 16, but he couldn't clear him. Hill side drafts him now into turns 1 and 2. Hill's got a massive run now. And they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway with a half a lap to go in Stage 2. It's a drag race now into turn 3. A lot of help on the outside where Hill's at, but Smith side drafts him on the bottom into 3 and 4. Neck and neck again. Smith with the advantage is going to pull clear of Austin Hill as a truck goes spinning in the back. The 22 of Austin Wayne Self goes around. Zane Smith is going to win the stage. Tough to tell if anybody else got collected in that accident off turn 4. It looked like everybody missed Austin Wayne Self. And Zane Smith is going to go on to win Stage 2 after the 2 leaders in front of him in Stage 1 got in an accident. Looks like Tyler Rankin went around, as well as the 22 of Austin Wayne Self. Cautions breeding cautions late in Stage 2, but the second stage has come to an end, which means this race will be deemed official if it does rain. They did say that there is rain in the area, so we're not sure exactly what distance we're racing to. Great save there by Self. Almost exactly similar to how Creed would have saved it. Creed just got clobbered on the inside by somebody trying to miss the accident. Austin Wayne Self did not get hit by anybody. Looked like Ankrum slid well after the 22 truck. He must have gotten turned. I'm not sure where they scored him. Maybe he was battling for stage points and clipped the AstroTurf, but one way or another he ended up sliding through the AstroTurf, which did not destroy the race car, unlike where if he had real grass, it probably would have destroyed the race car, so very fortunate there. Again, the AstroTurf was added back in 2018 to the infield at Charlotte Motor Speedway, mainly because of the Roval. Take a look at the Stage 2 results. I mentioned that Zane Smith won the stage, but I didn't go through the rest of the stage results yet. Gonna have to wait for this to update. I don't think it's updated yet. Almost halfway home here tonight. So we had no cautions for incident through the first stage and a half of action tonight. Now we've had 3 of them in the final 14 laps of Stage 2 alone. Daytona needs AstroTurf in the 500. I feel like as much rain as they get in Florida, it would still flood. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it wouldn't damage the race. Well, I mean, the water could damage it if there's enough standing water. But I feel like there would still be standing water. It's just like they would just be splashing through it, I guess. Stage 2 results are now official. Zane Smith again with the stage win. Playoff point added to his total this season. Austin Hill second, Ty Majeski third, Derek Kraus fourth, Ryan Truex rounded out the top 5, Matt Crafton sixth, Carson Hocevar seventh, Stuart Friesen eighth, Grant Enfinger ninth, and John Hunter Nemechek rounds out the top 10. Remember, Nemechek was leading, came to pit road so he could restart in the lead for the final stage, and he still snuck into the top 10 after that incident with Austin Wayne self-gassed it right on through and still got that point. I think he restarted 19, so he gained 9 spots in one lap with those fresh tires. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Gillen's going to restart second. And I want to say Deegan might restart third. Assuming that all those drivers that stayed out are going to pit during the stage break, we'll have to wait and see when they come back from the break. Alexis Ruiz, welcome to the stream. Currently playing NASCAR 15 and currently 5th. Awesome job. Never played any of the Utechnics NASCAR games. Hopefully you're having fun. Like this year's Daytona 500, so many cars DNF because of just going through the grass. Yeah, Blaney, Byron were like the two main ones, and they had fast race cars too going in. Tough break. Give me one quick second. I'll get back on here. They're just coming back from. I'll stick around and we'll wait till after the pit stops, and then I got to get up here for just a few quick seconds. Yeah, hopefully this year's NASCAR game's good. A lot of hype around it once again, as usual, but might be deserved hype. We'll have to wait and see. Zane Smith leads a lot of trucks on the pit road. Again, a lot of them were drivers that stayed out. All of them were drivers that stayed out there at the end of the last stage. So it really doesn't matter who wins this race off pit road because all these guys are going to be likely well outside the top 10 now, and that's a sacrifice with the stage points. But Zane Smith gets that extra playoff point. He does not have a win this season. Not locked into the playoffs either, so I guess that was smart to get stage points. You never know. Hill wins the race off pit road, but again, all these guys are going to be outside the top 10 on the restart. Give me a quick second. I'll be right back in front of the camera very shortly. All right, I'm back. Looks like Zane Smith had a penalty on pit road. Not sure what for. I missed it. Crew member over the wall too soon is the penalty on Zane Smith and that 21 team, so he'll have to line up at the tail end of the longest line on this restart to open up stage 3. Yeah, it's just this drivers being a little too aggressive, that's all. It's like Carson Hocevar is going to be the leader on the restart. Here's Sheldon Creed's interview.
A lot of traffic out there. What happened from your seat?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a great restart there. Then when the 38 got to me, it picked me up a little bit and spun him. Got split 3 wide, and I don't know if I cleared him down the back stretch or if he hung there, but he got a huge run into 3, and favors by staying close to him, but I don't know. I think he thinks he's Kyle Larson sometime. He's going to go do some slide stops. But anyway, I just want to thank Lift Kids for Less for coming on board. And the guys at GMS are doing a great job. We had a really fast truck tonight, and it looks like our teammate is running pretty good. So hopefully he can go and finish it off.
Best truck that led 34 laps.
So frustrating end of the night for Sheldon Creed. Frustrating stop for Zane Smith. We told you about having the crew member over the wall too soon and the penalty that comes along with it.
And Mike's not plugging in.
Took a bit of a heartbreaker.
Hold on, everybody. I don't want to get copyrighted for too much of that playing. Why is that not plugging in? Can you guys hear me at all? Comment in the chat down below if you guys can hear my audio. Should be able to. I don't know what's going on.
Winner and
nope. We're having some technical difficulties here. I'm not getting any audio through my headset. It's good that you guys can hear me. The problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to listen to the audio of the actual race now because you guys are going to hear it. Which you guys might not care if you hear it. I don't want to get copyrighted for it. Driver interviews are the only thing I let go. Why isn't it let me... There it goes. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right, we didn't miss any of the action. They're about to go green. Got it fixed right in time. Sorry for that. Carson Hocevar is going to restart from the lead on the inside lane. Stuart Friese will restart on the outside. Looks like the top three stayed out. Grant Enfinger will be third. Rain flag back in the air. Second half of the race underway at Charlotte. Gillen is getting a massive... I should say Nemechek was given a massive push to the 52 of Friesen. And look at Ben Rhodes go 3 wide towards the outside, further back again. His Thor Motorsport teammate Christian Eckes did the same thing towards the front to get around Nemechek and Hocevar. That outside groove looks like the lane to be in on these restarts. Hocevar falls all the way back to 4th after restarting on the bottom. No, Sheldon Creed's truck was not blank today. Oh, huge run all the way to the apron goes Nemechek down the back straightaway, 3 wide to the lead. What a move. That was highly impressive. And Hocevar just follows him up to 2nd. What a move by John Hunter Nemechek. Side by side, he went all the way to the apron because he got blocked by Eckes. And he somehow gets the lead into turn 3. Move of the year in the truck series so far, I have got to say. That was he was committed. He had the run. He wasn't going to lift because he got blocked. He just went as low as he could go. And he was on that painted part of the backstretch where the Roval has its chicane. No cutting the chicane here tonight. Hocevar is keeping up with Nemechek for the short time, but we'll see over the long run if he can do it. Man, Eckes blocked him all the way to the white line. That's what I mean. These trucks have been blocking way too aggressively here today. Down that back straightaway, but Nemechek was not phased whatsoever. Hocevar's driving the wheels off that race truck, trying to keep up with the 4 of Nemechek, and he's still within 0.3 of a second. Side by side for 4th place between Austin Hill and Christian Eckes now. Eckes on the high side, Hill on the bottom. They're still side by side off turn 4. First, we've seen Eckes inside the top 5 all night. He can't quite pull clear of the 16 yet. Hill and Eckes are still side by side, by the way. They have been side by side for at least 2, if not more, laps. There's been a lot of great moves in this truck race, but way too aggressive driving at the same time, too. But that's just what you come to find in the truck series. I mean, these are sprint races in a sense, too. I mean, these aren't, marathon races like the Cup Series. Doesn't mean you need to total your equipment trying to get to the win, but this has been I'd say it's been a decent race so far. But that was a great move by John Hunter. 98 truck goes way up the racetrack. I don't know if he got a push from Austin Hill and got a little help. Got shoved up the racetrack, or if he just overran the corner. By the way, Hill just blows right around him through 3 and 4. Gripped it up well down on that bottom groove. No, he didn't say Larson drives in over his head. He said that he was calling out Todd Gilliland for trying to pull off a Kyle Larson slide job move. Because I don't even know if that's what Gilliland was trying to do, but he overran the corner and slid right up into Creed. He was nowhere close to clearing him. That's what Creed was getting at. He was just getting at calling out Gilliland for trying to slide job move. I don't think he was throwing Larson under the bus. He was throwing Gilliland under the bus. But rightfully so, because, Gilliland was nowhere close to clearing him. Fox is going side by side with 56 laps to go right now. John Hunter Nemechek still out in front after that heck of a 3-wide move down the back straightaway to get to the lead. Carson Hocevar, the rookie in the 42 truck, is now up to second. Remember, he had pitted middle of stage 2, fell back to 27th. I'd say he's worked his way up nicely, and he's got a fast race truck tonight after those adjustments he made midway through that stage. Bailey Curry is in the 45 truck for Nice Motorsports tonight. He is running in 10th. And how about Chandler Smith in 9th? Even with that right rear damage after he had pinched Johnny Sauter into the outside wall earlier on one of those restarts at stage 2. Top 10 currently early in stage 3. John Hunter Nemechek followed by Carson Hocevar. Stuart Friesen 3rd. Austin Hill 4th. Hang on. That running order's not right. Either the running order on the screen isn't right or the running order on NASCAR's app isn't right because they're not matching up with one another right now. Okay, there it goes. Now the NASCAR app updated. Sorry for that. I was getting two different leaderboards and I was trying to figure out which one was right. I'll trust Fox's for right now. So again, John Hunter Nemechek leads. Carson Hocevar second. Stuart Friesen third. Austin Hill fourth. Christian Eck is fifth. Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes battling for sixth, with Rhodes taking that spot currently. So Crafton is now in seventh. Todd Gillen has rebounded back to eighth. Chandler Smith, as mentioned, rebounds back to ninth. And Derek Kraus now passes Bailey Curry to round out the top 10. Just outside the top 10, as mentioned, Curry, Majeski, Deegan, and Dollar. "51 laps to go here tonight at Charlotte with the Camping World Truck Series." Well, with Nemechek's two stiffest competitors of Todd Gilliland and Sheldon Creek getting into that accident, it has really opened this door up for Nemechek to put a beating on the field, especially with Creed knocked out of the race. Gilliland's still in it, but he's back to 8th with that damage. See if he gets that track position back later in the race. Maybe he'll have something for Nemechek. Everybody will have to pit one more time yet in this race. We'll just have to wait and see if we get maybe another caution where everybody can pit, or if they'll have to make green flag stops. No green flag pit stops at all yet today with the shortened stages in stage 1 and 2. Osavar still within about a second and a half of Nemechek, fluctuating quite frequently between 1.3 and 1.5 seconds back. A lot of that is probably the lap traffic each race truck is trying to get through right now. Sorry, I got a bit of a runny nose for some reason, and my allergies are, I think my medication's starting to wear off. Trying to make it to the next commercial break before I leave the screen again. 9 people watching, though, currently right now. Greatly appreciated, everybody. Side by side for position, down the back straightaway with a couple Thor Sport trucks. Christian Eckes, Ben Rhodes battling for 5th. Rhodes will get around Eckes on the outside. Matt Crafton right behind them as well for Thor Sport. Wow, Crafton up the middle between 2 slower lap trucks in the middle of the front stretch. He's trying to get away from Gilliland, who's pressuring him for 7th place. Yeah, it's crazy how far back Anchor has fallen. Remember, he was 6th at the end of stage 1. Was looking good early. Granted, he did spin at the end of stage 2. Lost his track position there. You can still see that damage significantly on the right side of Gilliland's race truck. Gotta be affecting the aerodynamics of it, but he gets to the inside of the 88 of Crafton for a brief moment in 1 and 2. Now has to file behind him down the back straightaway. Braxton Connolly, the gamer and player, welcome to the stream. Had a little bit of buffering there for a second. You guys can't see it, but there's buffering on my end trying to watch the race at least. So they've been talking about rain threatening. I haven't specifically checked the radar near Concord or Charlotte area, North Carolina, so I don't know exactly how much longer they've got. It'll be interesting to see what the pit strategy will be like. Some guys trying to stay out as long as they can to hope for it to maybe rain, and some guys maybe trying to split this final run in half if it goes green to the finish. It would by far be the longest green flag run of the race if they do go green to the end. It's 68 laps to go when we went green to start this final stage. Rain should not be an issue. It's way off to the west. Gotcha. Thanks. Yeah, I haven't checked it. I've just heard it over the broadcast between Michael Waltrip and Vince Welch. They've kind of mentioned it a few times already tonight. Pretty much since the start of the race. Okay, so Fox is going side by side once again. 40 laps to go. So we'll keep you right here with the action. Things are more spaced apart now than what they've been all night long with this longest green flag run of the race. But again, we'll have to see what pit stops will bring. We already saw one pit road penalty tonight on Zane Smith's pit crew after winning stage 2. They had to restart the tail end of the longest line, so we know he's got a fast truck. But with no cautions in this final stage so far, he's got no chance to get up to those leaders right now. Just check the radar. Yeah, again, thanks for that, Tyler. I could have checked it, but I've been trying to bring you guys the commentary, and they haven't. At least I've been going side by side in the final stage so far through the 2 commercial breaks. I commend them for that. Especially after the way it started in the first stage. Nothing but cautions and commercials. What it seemed like. That's where we had the most green flag racing up until now. Rain's about 72 miles. Oh, yeah, they'll definitely get done before the end of the night. Only 38 laps to go. They'll be done in about another... Well, if it stays green, they'll be done in about 15, 20 minutes. Race going by pretty quick tonight. Again, we only had 3 cautions per incident. They were just all in a row at the end of stage 2. Have to imagine if we end up getting another caution at any point late in this race that they'll probably start to breed more cautions once again. But until then, this is all John Hunter Nemechek's race right now. It's just all dependent on his pit crew at this point. His pit crew did lose him 2 spots under a pit stop back at the end of stage 1 to start stage 2. Remember, with Nemechek losing those couple spots, he was able to quickly get back to the lead, but he's got a little bit more room for error if he has to pit under green, as long as he obviously makes it to pit road without speeding. As well all the way through the exit of the pit lane. He's got about a 4-second lead on Hocevar right now. Hocevar about a half a second ahead of Friesen for second. Austin Hill also within a second of Hocevar. So pretty tight gap between second through fourth. Nemechek's just got that 4-second lead. Then a big gap between 4th and 5th where Austin Hill and Ben Rhodes are. About 6 seconds of a difference between those 2 drivers. Lap 100 now this time by. That'll signal 34 laps to go. Mileage-wise, I'll have to check again. And Carson Hocevar, meanwhile, will be the first of the leaders to come to pit road. Stuart Friesen in 3rd place comes in right behind him. So they're trying to beat Nemechek into the pits and maybe cut into that ground as much as they can. Now it's up to the pit crew's time to shine. Like Friesen had a little, oh man, really slow stop for both trucks. It looked like on the right side of the race truck. I got about a 9-hour drive tomorrow to get to Charlotte. Mileage-wise, I'm not sure exactly how far. So if I leave, like, getting up at 6, so I'll probably be out the door no later than, like, 6:15, 6:20. I should get there no later than, like, 3:30 in the afternoon. That's stopping to eat somewhere, too, so I should be fine. Austin Hill now down into the pits as well. John Hunter Nemechek's going to stay out just a tad bit longer. He had 4 seconds of a lead there. Don't want to give up too much of that. Last thing you want to do is lose track position. Yeah, we saw him go 3 wide to the apron to pass one car. Not saying that you can necessarily do that and get away with it twice, and now Nemechek's into the pit. So he stayed out about 2 laps longer than the second and third place drivers that pitted behind him of Stuart Friesen and Carson Hocevar. Eckes, Majeski, Dollar, Deegan, Zane Smith all have to pit yet, as well as Tyler Ankrum. I think they're just staying out and trying to maybe catch a yellow. There's still a lot of drivers that still have to pit. Ryan Truex, Tyler Hill, Enfinger all inside the top 10 have to pit. So Eckes is leading laps for the first time tonight. A lot of these guys pitted that extra time during the stage break, so they're able to go a little further on fuel. Now Deegan comes into the pits. Looked like a pretty quick pit stop on the 51 of Dollar. He was running in 8th place right before those pit stops started. After starting towards the back today. Eckes is going to come on to pit road now and surrender the race lead. See if his teammate Majeski's going to come down and follow him. It looks like he will. Majeski will follow. Ankrum, Zane Smith, Enfinger, Ryan Truex all still on the racetrack. See how much further they could go if they decide to push it further. Less than 30 laps left now at Charlotte. Tyler Ankrum is the new leader. Zane Smith second. Both those drivers still have to pit. Don't fault Zane Smith for trying this strategy considering he had that penalty at the end of Stage 2 on pit road. No rain in the forecast for the Indy 500. Awesome. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's really much in the forecast. It's only like a 20% chance of rain Sunday at Charlotte. But I think most of that is in the early afternoon anyway, by 6 o'clock. 6. I don't know when the drop of the green flag exactly is. Probably about 6:15, 6:20. Coverage starts at 6. But yeah, by the time the race starts, it should be plenty good. Tyler Ankrum going to come to pit road. Zane Smith will take over the race lead. First time since he won Stage 2, he's back out in front, but it's during green flag pit stops. Oh, a little troubles on Ankrum's picker at the right front. Looked like they missed the lug nut. Had to come back around to the left side. Painfully slow pit stop for Tyler Ankrum in this 2016. It's just amazing how much slower the pit crews are in the Truck Series versus what they are in the Xfinity and the Cup side. Not just because of that mistake on Ankrum's pit stop either. I mean, even before that. Austin Hill is slowly catching up to John Hunter Nemechek. Some of that might have been pitting 2 laps before him as well. He's about 3 seconds off the lead when he himself was about 4.5 off the lead. Hill did cycle ahead of Hocevar as well. Hocevar must have had a really slow stop because he's about 7 seconds off the race lead despite going in second. Still the top two at the pit of Ryan Truex and Zane Smith. Everybody else has already made their way for their final stop. Just trying to catch a yellow. Only the top 11 are on the lead lap if they were to catch a caution. Not sure how many more laps Smith can go, as well as Truex. I wouldn't speak too soon there, Tyler. We still got 24 laps left. And it's the Truck Series. Cautions are more viable in the Truck Series than any other of the top 3 series in NASCAR. He's not going to make it into the pits that time. Whether he wanted to or not, Derek Kraus quickly gets back on the lead lap trying to get around him. Nemechek's about 9.5 seconds back of Zane Smith right now. Smith is likely going to go a lap down staying out this long. Unless he has a really, really fast pit stop. And he stays out of the pit lane once again. He might run that thing out of fuel before trying to come into the pits at this point. I'm shocked at how much longer he's been able to take it compared to everybody else. He got split there 3 wide by some faster lap cars on fresher tires. Smith dives to the bottom into 3 and 4, and I think he's coming in this time. Yes, he is. So Zane Smith going to back it down. John Hunter Nemechek will cycle back to the lead once Ryan Truex comes into the pits. Truex going to go an even lap further than Zane Smith now. Still about a 3 to a 3.5 second lead right now for Nemechek over Hill once Nemechek cycles through. We'll have 20 laps to go this time by. Nemechek looking for his 3rd win of the season and just the 10th race of the year in the Truck Series. 7 top 10s already as well. Awesome start for John Hunter Nemechek. Trying to hunt for that championship. He has definitely been the favorite of the Truck Series regulars so far this season. And definitely the most consistent. Heavy smoke pouring out of the back of the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. He's down onto pit road. He was running inside the top 10. He would have been in 6th place when everything cycled through. And as much smoke is coming out of it, that might be an engine failure. Oh, huge crash down the front stretch. Johnny Sauter hard into the back of the 51. Oh, my goodness. The roll cage is just sticking out of the 13 of Sauter's race truck. He is moving around in the inside. I can see his hands moving. The right front tire, both the right side tires are just completely torn off of the race truck. And I hope Sauter's all right. That looks nasty. The truck's on fire. He needs to get out of there. He is moving around. You can see him moving around. He's probably trying to catch his breath. All we saw was the aftermath of Sauter spinning through the AstroTurf. Both the right side wheels are sheared off the race truck. Looked like he got into the 14. Very violent accident here at Charlotte as Trey Hutchins in the 14. Safety crew working with Hutchins right now. Nobody's attended Sauter yet. But the window net is down on Johnny Sauter's race truck. Sauter's climbing out of his race truck. Under his own power. Immediate trip back to the infield care center. Looks like he's just going to walk there. Only saw the aftermath of it, but just looking at the damage on the entire right side of Johnny Sauter's race truck, that is... I haven't seen a race truck like that in a long time. And you could literally see the roll cage, the entire right side, all the foam. The door was just sheared straight off it, and both right side tires were gone. Non-existent as well. Yeah, the 14, Trey Hutchins still didn't get out of the race truck when they cut the commercial break, but the safety crew was working with him. Hopefully he's all right. From what it sounded like, at least for Michael Waltrip, it seemed like he was maybe trying to come down onto pit road, and he pulled down right in front of Sauter at a slow pace, which would make sense just looking at the damage on Sauter's race truck. He had to have hit him at a much higher speed than what Hutchins might have been going, and then Drew Dollar in the 51 we saw spinning as well there, but I believe he made it through without any contact. Didn't look like he had any damage on his race truck. Anxiety level 1,000. My anxiety level's at 1,000 after that one. We didn't even see the full length of the accident. That looked terrible. First caution of the final stage. I would not be surprised if we go red flag there. I didn't even look to see if it was red flag or not, or if they were still under green. There's got to be heavy debris around that race track, knowing that both the right side tires and the complete right side of the Sauter number 13 machine was just sheared off. Not what Sauter wanted if we look at the point standings. Again, hoping that Trey Hutchins is all right after that hit. Johnny Sauter came in just below the cutoff line. He was actually midway through stage 2, 3 points to the good, but that was when Hocevar was back at 27th at the time. Sauter's night obviously coming to an end. The accidents you just hate to see. Fox is on a commercial break right now. They haven't shown the replay yet. I think they're waiting on Hutchins to get out of the racetrack before they want to show a replay of this accident, because that was a nasty... You don't see too many of those kind of hits on 1.5 mile racetracks. There is no red flag. They are under yellow. Man, look at Sauter's race truck. That is insane. It looks like, just looking at Sauter's race truck, the damage and the way the roll cage is sticking out, you would think he had been through a barrel roll accident. I don't know if Hutchins has gotten out of the race truck yet. He might have. I think he was sitting down on the ground. It was tough to tell. Oh, Hutchins got into the outside wall. Oh my gosh. Did they throw the caution before they came in there? Why was there not a caution there? Oh my God. Look at the debris going everywhere. Yeah, so the 14 of Trey Hutchins hit the outside wall off of turn 4. I think he wanted to pull onto pit road. He was kind of creeping his way down there. He was basically stopped. He had to have been rolling probably less than 50 miles an hour. He was basically stopped. There was no caution. And Sauter and Smith were running side by side with Sauter on the outside. And without the yellow, obviously, they're going in there full speed. There was nowhere for Sauter to go. Looked like Nemechek might have hit a lot of debris on the racetrack. I wonder if he's going to have heavy damage to his race truck. He was in the lead. Oh, man, huge hole in the roof of Nemechek's race truck from debris. That's going to hurt that race truck aerodynamically. I don't think they can repair that. I would feel like if Hutchins was still in the race truck, I feel like they would be scrambling around a little bit more. Hopefully he's all right, even if he did get out of the race truck. I'm trying to figure out why they didn't throw a caution. The caution lights were not on. That's why everybody was going full speed still. Battling for position against Sauter and Smith were side by side off turn 4. Oh my gosh. Zane Smith hit a huge chunk of debris as well. He's so lucky he didn't hit him like head on. Just looking at how much it sheared the right side of Sauter's race truck off. Obviously with the driver pointed on the left side of the race car or race truck, Sauter hit it on the side he wasn't sitting in. Versus if he would have hit him head on and took a full-blown impact into the driver's seat. I mean, just looking at the damage, that would have been... That would not have been good for Johnny Sauter, health-wise. Surprised there's no red flag right now, too. They're still under caution, so a lot of laps are being dwindled away right now. Oh, man. I mean, Sauter basically hit a parked car off turn 4 at full speed. Off the exit of the corner, not the fastest area of the racetrack, but, I mean, they still have to be going 150, 160 in the truck series off turn 4 at Charlotte. The 14 took the worst hit after he got slammed extremely hard, even after slamming. Yeah, I don't know why there wasn't a caution. They must not have seen him. That's the only thing, is they couldn't have seen him. I mean, Fox didn't even... They didn't catch it live. They got, the replays spot on, but the live camera didn't show anything until they were spinning on the front stretch, and that's when probably the caution was waving at that point, but it was way too late. It's going to be interesting to see what the damage is going to look like on John Hunter Nemechek's race truck. Well, we've already seen the damage. It's on the roof. And just knowing the aero dependency with the way the airflow kind of, hits the grill of the race truck and flows up and over, that can't be good on the handling, having basically a hole in the roof. A huge dent, at least, into the roof. It's just above the windshield on his race car. I'm assuming he's going to stay out of the pits. They said he doesn't have another set of tires left, so it looks like he'll stay out anyway. He will be restarting from the lead. But again, if that damage is significant, I don't know if he's going to hold on to it. I don't know. I can't confirm that Trey Hutchins is out of the race truck yet. It looked like he might have been sitting behind a little bit. I just feel like two things would happen if he wouldn't have gotten out of the race truck so far. One, they would have had a red flag. which I think they should have a red flag anyway. There's so much debris on the racetrack. That caution came out with just less than 20 to go. We're down to 13 laps left before they went to commercial. 2, I feel like they would have been scrambling around trying to get him out of the truck or try to find a way, to get him help a lot more abrupt. They weren't really moving around too fast like he was moving on his own power. XY Games, welcome to the stream. This is not a podcast video. We are live reacting, live commentating to the actual truck race tonight. Charlotte Motor Speedway under caution for a very violent accident off turn 4 between Trey Hutchins, Johnny Sauter, and Chandler Smith, where Hutchins in the 14 truck hits the outside wall off of turn 4, running way less than 50 miles an hour, nearly parked off turn 4. No caution. NASCAR must not have seen the 14 basically parked there, side by side, battling between Sauter and Smith off turn 4 while they were still green with a parked car there, and Sauter ran right into the back of him. Sauter is all right. He's out of the race car. He has already taken the trip to the infield care center under his own power. No word yet on Trey Hutchins. Both the right side wheels were sheared off the car and down to the roll cage on the right side of Johnny Sauter's race truck. And Chandler Smith had significant damage to the back bumper of his race truck. It looked like Sauter kind of got into the back of him trying to check up. I said the most violent accident I've seen in a while since the Newman accident, the 500 last year, was last week at COTA in the Cup race with Martin Truex Jr. and Cole Custer's impact, but I think that one takes the cake right there. 2 scary accidents, 2 weeks in a row, both live streaming it right here on the channel. It looks like they've got the debris picked up. They're going to go green with 10 laps to go. Lights are out on the pace truck. Nemechek will restart on the inside lane. The outside lane is going to be driven by Stuart Friesen. Heavy damage on the Ford truck after running into debris. We'll see if he can hold on. He has dominated this final stage. Green flag is back in the air at Charlotte. Good launch for Nemechek initially to get out ahead of Austin Hill, but we'll see if he can hold on. Hocevar up to second place, getting around Austin Hill. Hill with an aggressive block, runs the 52 truck clear to the inside. Nearly contact with Eckes on the outside in the 98. 3 wide and tight through 3 and 4. Contact off turn 4 between Hill and Eckes. They hang on to it as they're 3 and nearly 4 wide off the exit of turn 4. Nemechek holds on to the lead on Hocevar, trying to get his first career win. They're still sliding around back in the pack. Hocevar is all over the back bumper of the Ford truck of Nemechek, who has the clean air, but he's got to be struggling with the handling, knowing that damage is on the roof of the race car. 8 laps to go at the line. He's doing all he can. Rhodes is back in 3rd. Friesen's 4th, and Gilliland rounds out the top 5 behind Nemechek. Nemechek has led nearly half of the race. If he leads them all to the finish, he'll lead over half. That caution trapped quite a few drivers a lap down, by the way. Only the top 12 are on the lead lap now. Because remember, Ryan Truex, I don't even think, had pit at that point in time yet. Haley Deegan's the first driver lap down at 13th currently. Tough break for her. She was running 9th or 10th most of the race, but that caution trapped her a lap down. Hocevar still within about 0.6 of a second. They'll be coming to 6 laps to go at the line. Nemechek is still holding on strong with the damage on the roof of his race truck. Tanner Gray very slow down the front stretch. He might have an issue. Looks like he's got some significant damage to the right front of his race truck that could be from earlier. He was involved in an accident earlier in the race. Back towards the end of stage 2 when we had a few yellows consecutively. Zane Smith, another one of those fast trucks towards the back. Rallied his way to 11th currently. Yeah, Gray got into the outside wall off turn 4 about a lap ago, so that's why he was slow down the front stretch. Doesn't look to have a tire rub for the moment. We'll see if he can hang on for the final 5 laps. A lot of battling back there just inside the top 10. 4th right now, side by side between Zane Smith and Christian Eckes. 4 laps to go now at the front for John Hunter Nemechek. Hocevar is still within 0.6 of a second and trying to close. Very aggressive side drafting down the front stretch as they're still side by side for 10th right now. And Hocevar is slightly closing in on the Ford truck of Nemechek. Lap truck of the 3 trying to stay out of the way of the leaders. Letting them race. Probably got in Hocevar's way a little more than the 4 of Nemechek. 3 laps to go. Incredible job by Nemechek to get through the carnage even after hitting some heavy debris, giving damage to the race truck. He is still pulling away. 2 laps to go at the line. 0.8 of a second now in front of Hocevar. Career day for Carson in the 2nd spot as a rookie. He came in final driver above the cutoff line in points. This is going to help him after scoring 0 stage points today. Well, they're going to get there. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, next flag will end the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. 0.7 of a second separate the top 2 still. Hocevar is digging down to a 0.5 second back off turn 2. He's putting it all on the line right now down the back straightaway. Now he's only about 4 truck lengths back into 3 and 4. Hocevar is pushing that truck to its limits, but he's going to fall a couple truck lengths too short. John Hunter Nemechek will win his 3rd race of the season in the Camping World Truck Series, and it'll come at Charlotte. Hocevar 2nd, Rhodes 3rd, Friesen 4th, Gilliland rounds out the top 5. Smith comes back to finish 6th, Majeski 7th, Krause with a great run in 8th, Austin Hill 9th, and Zane Smith comes back to round out the top 10 after a penalty on pit road at the end of stage 2. 12 trucks finish on the lead lap, 4 cautions for incident, only 1 in the final stage. That nasty accident in the final 20 laps. After that caution trapped so many drivers a lap down because Ryan Truex still did not pit for his final pit stop when everybody else did. Yeah, if this was the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast, it would say it in the title for future reference. Nemechek burning it down on the front stretch at Charlotte. Yeah, it's very well possible, Tyler. Nemechek about to get his interview on the front stretch. Once that mic gets put up to his face, we'll unplug my mic and we'll listen to John Hunter Nemechek as he finds victory lane for the 3rd time this year in the first 10 races. 9th of his career in the Truck Series. Great run. He led over half the race. Here's John Hunter Nemechek's race-winning post-race interview.
In that Ford truck, and he has performed at every level. Regan Smith is with the winner.
John Hunter Nemechek, quite the day. You started your day off with damage to the right rear of your truck. The second lap on the racetrack, you recovered to win the race tonight.
Yeah, you came and saw me earlier, and I told you we had a fast truck, only running, I think, 10 laps total in practice. So hats off to all my guys, Eric Phillips, all of my guys that work on this thing, everyone at KBM, the chassis shop, Fab Shop, just everyone and all their effort, Mobile One, TRD, Toyota, Kyle for this opportunity. Just so thankful, so blessed to be in this spot. And how about this crowd? It's awesome to have all you guys back.
So cool to have the crowd here. A little bit more good news for you also. The Wapelli Triple Truck Challenge, an extra $50,000 in your pocket tonight.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot about that. So thank you to Wapelli, Marcus Lemonis, Camping World, everyone that makes this series happen. One of the greatest series right here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So awesome. Sadly, Aspen's in bed at home, but Taylor's here. So hopefully we can celebrate and have some fun tonight.
John Hunter Nemechek, your winner at Charlotte.
Again, congratulations to John Hunter Nemechek on winning at Charlotte Motor Speedway here tonight. Take a quick rundown of the finishing results, then we'll get out of here with the live stream as I got to finish packing my stuff up before I leave for Charlotte myself tomorrow. So, already went through the top 10. We'll go through it again, and we'll also state that Sheldon Creed won Stage 1, Zane Smith won Stage 2. Nemechek again with the win. Carson Hocevar, rookie, finishes second. Ben Rhodes third. Stuart Friesen fourth. Todd Gillen rounds out the top 5. Chandler Smith sixth. Ty Majeski seventh. Derek Krause eighth. Austin Dillon ninth. And Zane Smith rounds out the top 10. Christian Eckes 11th. Brian Truex 12th. Only the top 12 finished on the lead lap. Haley Deegan finishes first driver lap down in 13th. Wrong side of the caution. She had a much better night going. She was running pretty much 9th to 10th most of the race. But that lap down trapped a lot of guys a lap down. A lot of drivers, I should say, a lap down due to it coming with Ryan Truex still staying on the racetrack. But it helped Truex get the top 12, so good for him. Strategy paid off well. Grant Enfinger, anyway, finishes 14th. Jack Wood, 15th. Tyler Ankrum, 16th after a spin earlier in the race. Austin Wayne Self also spun, finished 17th. Timmy Hill, 18th. Bailey Curry, 19th. Drew Dollar falls all the way back to 20th. Remember, he was involved in that late caution as well. Dawson Cram, 21st. Tanner Gray, 22nd. Chris Wright, 23rd. Danny Bone, 24th. Corey Roper, 25th. Spencer Boyd, 26th. CJ McLaughlin, 27th. Ogata, 28th. Keith McGee, 29th. Crafton rounds out the top 30. He had that engine failure. Johnny Sauter finishes 31st with that DNF there late. Trey Hutchins, the third. 32nd, scored unofficially. Jennifer Jo Cobb, 33rd. Chase Purdy, 34th. Sheldon Creed wrecked there towards the end of Stage 2, 35th. Brett Holmes, 36th. We saw his accident as well earlier in Stage 2. Fogelman and Peters rounded out the field. Peters only completed 13 laps. He had an issue of some sort there at the very beginning of the race. So that rounds out your 38 truck field here tonight at Charlotte. Enjoy the NASCAR Xfinity Series race tomorrow afternoon. I'll be listening to it on the road on my way down to Charlotte. We'll be having a very, very, very big vlog coming up. Probably multiple vlog videos will be up on the channel at some point through this weekend into early next week on Monday. I guess this extended weekend with it being Memorial Day, so if you guys have off maybe Monday as well. Yeah, we'll see. I will be uploading either a video or live stream of the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast this week. Predictions for the Indy 500, most importantly the Coke 600, especially with this being the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast. But I want to get my Indy 500 predictions in as well. Enjoy those races also if I don't get to talk to you guys live in person. Until then, hopefully you have a lot of fun this weekend. We may be surprised with a live stream tomorrow. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see. It'll be a busy weekend for me, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for your support. As always, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content like these full race live streams with the realistic broadcasts for both real NASCAR races and NASCAR video game races as well. And again, thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend.